Only a prince can have a lady like that. Meghan wins an army of starstruck new young fans, on first royal charity engagement. Meghan Markle made her first official engagement with Prince Harry look easy today as she won an army of starstruck new fans, including one who said, "She's beautiful. Only a prince can have a lady like that." The royal couple shared countless handshakes, high fives, hugs and took presents including bags of Haribo sweets, Harry's favorites, from crowds 5 deep chanting their names, in Nottingham today. Meghan looked happy and relaxed throughout, chatting about their wedding at Windsor Castle next year, and quitting the hit show Suits while thanking people for braving the cold to see us and making us feel so welcome. "I'm so happy," she said at one point, adding, "It's just such a thrill to be here. I can't believe it." During the walkabout she introduced herself to people with a cheery, "Hi, I'm Meghan." Starstruck young footballer Raoul Rafate asked loudly, "Is that Prince Harry's wife?" as the couple approached at Nottingham Arts Centre and said, "She is beautiful. Only a prince can have a lady like that." The star, wearing a £585 coat and carrying a £455 handbag, kept resting her hand on Harry's back in a repeated loving and reassuring gesture, and for long periods clutched his arm and held his hand. Mr. Rafate, the captain of a football team for Champions for Change, a project which uses football to reach African communities in the Midlands to talk about HIV/AIDS, said the 36-year-old American actress was beautiful. If Mr. Rafate was more outspoken than most of the guests at the charity event, he did no more than reflect the mood at the Nottingham Arts Centre, where the couple met a group of charities involved in HIV/AIDS, that Ms. Markle passed her royal initiation test with flying colours. Sandra Spence, centre manager for the Terence Higgins Trust, said, "They were very relaxed. They fed off each other, which is unusual in a couple but nice to see. It was refreshing to see 2 people who actually gelled, as opposed to 2 people who needed to be together." Her colleague Liz Waters, a health promotion specialist for men who have sex with men, said, "They have a lovely glow about them." Chris O'Hanlon, who is a peer mentor for Positively UK, a charity which helps people newly diagnosed with HIV, talked to them about his own diagnosis and the importance of fitness in dealing with HIV. "I spoke to Meghan about my passion for yoga," said Mr. O'Hanlon, a clinical hypnotherapist from Luton. "I said, 'You are a big yogi and love your yoga.' She said, 'Absolutely, I love incorporating it into my life. It is something I have always done.'" He said the couple were so natural together. They are very personable. It is very easy to talk to them because they are so open. They have a very jokey attitude. You worry that you have to be. They seem amazingly comfortable together. You can see that it's a perfect match. This may have been her first official engagement, but she was a complete natural at it. She was incredibly observant about what we were talking about, and very interested. She picked up on quite a few things that I was saying, particularly in terms of my own diagnosis. She was very empathetic. Not only will she make a good addition to the royal family, she will make an excellent ambassador to any of the causes she puts her heart and her minds to. Ms. Markle also exhibited a key trait that will stand her in good stead as a member of the royal family: she clearly loves children. As she met Lorraine Dube, a volunteer with the African Institute for Social Development, and her son Ezekiel Wong, too, Ms. Markle tried valiantly to coax him out of his shyness, stroking his arm and chatting to him. "She is absolutely lovely," said Ms. Dube. "You can tell that she loves kids." Ezekiel was very shy. She was trying to get him to say something. In the end he said thank you as she walked off, which I thought was really cute. She said he was a cute little boy. As she left, she passed another small child in their mother's arms, reached out and said, "So sweet." As they walked round the room in Nottingham Contemporary, Ms. Markle stuck closely to Harry's side, but never appeared nervous or shy. While she regularly looked up at him, she was also not backward in coming forward with questions of her own, picking up on what people said to her. One of the people they met was Siobhan Lanigan, the chief executive of the food chain, a charity which gives nutritional advice to people with HIV. Ms. Lanigan twice met Diana, Princess of Wales, when she was chief fundraiser for the London Lighthouse, an AIDS hospice. Inspired by the fact that the couple revealed this week how Harry proposed to Ms. Markle, as they prepared roast chicken at home at Kensington Palace, Ms. Lanigan showed them a recipe for Ethiopian chicken tagine, from her charity's cookbook, Nourish. It was a point that did not escape Harry's fiancée. She said, "Oh yes, we mentioned the chicken," said Ms. Lanigan. She said, "We might try that." They took a copy of the book with them. She said she enjoyed spices in her food. As an American about to join the British royal family, Ms. Markle also passed another test for anyone marking their mark. In public life this side of the Atlantic, she recognized the importance of football in our national life. Amdani Juma, the project coordinator for Champions for Change, said, "She said football is the #1 sport for bringing the human race together." He added, "She was very natural. They looked absolutely ecstatic. And, more importantly, she made a big impression on his colleague Mr. Arafat, a tourism student as well as the team captain and goalkeeper." He said, "Is that Prince Harry's wife?" I said, "Yes, his wife-to-be." He said, "They are amazing. She is very beautiful. Only the prince can have a lady like that." Red carpet veteran Ms. Markle also went it alone to chat, with people lining both sides of the route, accepting everything from bars of chocolate to cards, and bunches of flowers. At one point a young woman dropped a glove, and Meghan noticed in the corner of her eye, picked it up and handed it back to her. Anne Maguire, who brought her nearly 3-year-old son Leo with her, said, "She grabbed my hand and said, 'I'm so glad you braved it to stand in the cold,' and said of Meghan, 'She's such a natural.'" Katie Shaw said the couple were very down-to-earth even though they're royal, and said, "It's all about Suits. We really like Suits," and she told us there are going to be 2 more series. The prince looked fit to burst with pride as he watched, as his new fiancée worked the crowds like an old pro. He also saw the funny side today, when he was asked what it was like to be ginger, and engaged to a Hollywood star like Meghan Markle, and admitted himself their romance was unbelievable, and said, "It's great, isn't it?" With no private secretary yet, she had to hold the flowers, and her handbag in the same hand, but carried on greeting well-wishers. A little while later one of Harry's aides took the blooms from her. The model and actress also showed that she is already learning the royal rules, when it comes to official visits, politely declining to pose for a selfie, telling one couple, "We're not allowed." Ms. Markle spent around 25 minutes meeting the crowds, in Nottingham with Prince Harry, charming members of the public as she introduced herself, with a cheery "Hi, I'm Meghan. I'm so happy," she said at one point. "It's just such a thrill to be here." Harry and Meghan arrived a few minutes ahead of schedule and, after greeting dignitaries, immediately plowed off to speak to the waiting crowds. Although they stood for a second, wrapped around each other, Meghan showed no hint of nerves, and after joining Harry for a while on one side of the street, confidently peeled off on her own. The prince and the actress immediately undertook a traditional royal walkabout, plunging into the crowds to shake hands. The prince and his fiancée appeared eager to meet the public, with Harry at one point asking someone, "Can I shake your hand?" He then smiled when a well-wisher shouted, from 3 or 4 rows back behind a crash barrier, "How does it feel being a ginger with Meghan?" The former army officer replied with a grin, "It's great, isn't it?" When the man said the word unbelievable, Harry responded, "Unbelievable." The love they have for each other was clear to see, in the way they continually touched each other, held hands and glanced into each other's eyes. They also worked acto with the crowd, stopping to touch people on the arm, and Ms. Markle even rubbed someone's wrist, as if to warm them up on the cold day, as she shook their hand. The couple spent long periods speaking to people, who congratulated them on their engagement, with the prince handing out high fives to youngsters, who came to see them. Ms. Markle was wrapped up against the cold in a long dark blue coat by maquillage, and boots. She was also without gloves, so her engagement ring was on display, and carried a handbag, something the Duchess of Cambridge rarely does. Prince Harry's fiancée mingled with the crowds, in Nottingham city centre, telling people how she hoped they weren't too cold, In the chilly December weather, Meghan showed that she is already learning the royal rules when it comes to official visits, politely declining to pose for a selfie, telling one couple, "We're not allowed." Barbara Miller, from Nottingham, said, "She said thank you very much for braving the cold. I said can we have a selfie? She said we're not allowed to do selfies. I said congratulations. She was so pleasant, she was lovely. She said to my husband your hands are really cold." Husband David Miller added, "I shook her hand. She said it was really cold." Corey Burns, 80 from Clifton, said Meghan pointed out her home state of California is warmer than the UK. Corey said, "I used to live in California, so I asked her where she was from and she said it's warmer over there than here." Irene Hardman, from Ruddington said, "I just said she's wonderful and beautiful, and they'll be absolutely wonderful together. She kept saying thank you so much. They were just wonderful. She kept saying I can't believe it, I've been made so welcome and I can't believe it." Michaela Luders, who is from California, said the former actress had recognized her accent, and told her, "It's so lovely to meet a fellow Californian, I'm so excited to be here. She was wondering if I was staying here and whether I'm enjoying it. It was really great. She seemed very natural. She's very warm. I bet she was terribly nervous but she didn't show it." Waving to people in the windows above the narrow street, Ms. Markle walked down a line asking people their names, where they are from and endearingly introducing herself by name in case they were not sure who she was. Claire Kinsall brought a card made by her daughter Ruby, 7, congratulating them on their engagement and saying, "I can't wait to see your wedding." Harry said he was really pleased, and thanked her, she added. Frida from Nottingham recalled seeing the Queen in the city when she was Princess Elizabeth around 1950, wanting to pass her best wishes to Prince Harry. "She was lovely," she said of Meghan. "She said she was so pleased to be here. I told her you're lovely, she's very beautiful." Harry said he loved my plates. One group of mothers had brought 5 small children for their first encounter with royalty, with Claire Sarabi saying they could not pass up the opportunity to show them history in action. Her son Idris, 1, had been practicing saying congratulations ahead of the walkabout, while Zoe and Amelia, who are 3 and friends from ballet class, made a card covered in star-shaped stickers. Ms. Markle crouched down to meet them and ask how old they were, and thanked them for the card. Helena Bottomley, who gave a bag of Haribo to Meghan to pass to her fiancé, stood with 3 friends who had brought red and white roses, said, "She was really pleased with the presents. We congratulated her." Asked for their assessment of Ms. Markle, the friends said, "She's a little gem." The walkabout also gave Ms. Markle and Prince Harry to indulge their love of dogs, with the prince asking one named Gertie whether he was getting a Christmas stocking. While most people spent time speaking about the royal family, others had more important concerns. Mandy Kohler from Nebraska, who is studying in Nottingham, said, "I wanted to ask Prince Harry his favorite color. He said it was blue, but then changed his mind to purple." On arrival at 11:05 am they were greeted by a lineup including Sir John Peace, Lord Lieutenant of Nottinghamshire, and his wife Lady Christine Peace, Councillor Michael Edwards, Lord Mayor of Nottingham, and his wife Mrs. Edwards, Councillor John Hanley, and his wife Mrs. Margaret Hanley, and Mr. Ian Currier, Chief Executive of Nottingham City Council. Mr. Currier said afterwards, "We were talking about how it's great to have them here. Prince Harry comes a lot because of his private charity work. We were saying how brilliant it is that their first engagement as a couple is here. Particularly as they've come from Nottingham Cottage to here." I said that and they laughed. They said it's been great to come. Prince Harry said, "We're delighted to be here, and look at the number of people who've turned out." Crowds lined the street leading up to the city's Justice Museum, and by the time the couple arrived there were several thousand people in the city center. Many were waving Union flags and some had also brought US flags. Dorothy Mee, from Nottingham, said, "I'm a royalist and love what William and Harry have done bringing the monarchy into the younger people's realm. Especially Harry and the Invictus Games. I'm here to show some support and welcome her to her first official visit." It's wonderful they've come to Nottingham. I would love to know why. This day is the start of a long journey together. Margot Hayhurst, from Cambridge, said, I have two sisters who married American GIs and live in America, one in San Francisco, and one in Maine. I'm a great fan of Suits, right from Series 1. Her clothes, her demeanor, everything about her. They're so in love. I loved all the things they said in their interview. We need magic at the moment. There should be a public holiday for the wedding. At points during the walkabout, Ms. Markle put a reassuring hand on Harry's back, and she was given a bunch of cream-colored flowers. The former actress soon left her fiancé's side, and walked to the other side of the road to greet hundreds of fans, who were crowded behind crash barriers. She brushed her long hair from her face and smiled broadly, as she shook hand after hand. Ian Currier, chief executive of Nottingham City Council, gave the couple a Robin Hood badge each, to commemorate the visit. Just before heading into the Nottingham Contemporary Gallery, for a World AIDS Day fair hosted by the Terence Higgins Trust, Harry spotted a familiar face in the crowd, Ms. Hardman. She laughed and chatted with the couple and handed a goodie bag to Ms. Markle, containing fridge magnets and other gifts. She said afterwards that the meeting was very emotional. Through tears of joy, she said, I cried. She's wonderful, and it's fantastic. They're so genuine. Frank Shelton, 79, brought his Barnaul Kim to meet Harry, joking, "Ha brought his bird, so I've brought mine." Mr. Shelton, from Carlton, Nottinghamshire, who had had his 8-year-old bird of prey since she was a chick, added, Harry and William are something special. I'm really happy for them. Amy Vincent, also from Nottingham, said she had watched the couple's engagement interview, and couldn't believe how loved up they looked. Philippa Stark was with her daughter Savannah, 4. She said, Harry really has put Nottingham on the map. We love the royal family and they look so genuinely happy together. Her friend, Sarah Deverell, with 8-month-old Henry, added, it's very exciting that they have chosen here to come to. They look so happy together. Harry specifically chose to introduce his wife-to-be to public life in Nottingham as it is a city that is close to his heart. In recent years he has spent a great deal of time working with youth groups, both publicly and in private. His spokesman said the prince was looking forward to introducing his fiancée to a community that has become very special to him. Prince Harry is very much looking forward to the first place that she visits as his wife-to-be, which is going to be a city he cares a lot about and has spent a lot of time in over the last few years. It's going to be a really lovely way to start their public life together, he said. After the walkabout, Harry and Meghan attended a Terence Higgins Trust World AIDS Day charity fair at the Nottingham Contemporary, followed by a visit to Nottingham Academy, where they learned more about the work being done with young people in the area, and watched a performance of a hip-hop opera. While 3 hours of handshaking and smiling on your first day at work would be a daunting prospect to many, Miss Markle's assured public appearances so far suggest she will take the day in her stride. From the moment their engagement was announced on Monday, the actress has made clear that she wants to be a princess who makes a difference. Today's visit, less than 2 weeks after she arrived from Canada to live with Harry in London, will herald what Kensington Palace has described as an intensive 6-month tour of the UK, in order to get to know her adopted country, its communities and its people. Unlike the Duchess of Cambridge who, while undertaking a small number of engagements before and after her wedding to Prince William in 2011, made clear that she wanted to concentrate on being a military wife with him on Anglesey for the first year of married life, Meghan said in her official engagement interview on Monday, now being boots on the ground in the UK, I'm excited to just really get to know more about the different communities here, smaller organizations who are working on the same causes that I've always been passionate about. And also being able to go round the Commonwealth, I think it's just the beginning. She has long championed a number of her own charitable causes, including World Vision Canada and UN Women, which she is now regretfully giving up. Kensington Palace said she had made clear she wanted to start her life with the Queen's grandson in Britain with a clean slate, and devote herself to the issues that matter in the UK, a decision Harry has supported her in. Her first formal charity role will be as the fourth patron of William, Kate and Harry's own charity, the Royal Foundation, which enables the young royals to align themselves with groups working in areas such as young people, mental health, conservation and the military. She and Harry are also, the Mail understands, are also being earmarked to head up the new Queen's Commonwealth Trust charity, which is in the early stages of being established. The charity will be formally launched in 2018, in the lead-up to the Commonwealth Summit in April. A spokesman said this week that the Commonwealth was a big priority for the couple. They'd say that Miss Markle does not plan to take on any charities of her own yet, but confirmed that will, inevitably, develop in time. Her go-getting attitude and determination to hit the ground running is certainly being seen as a breath of fresh air in royal circles. A royal spokesman said, "Miss Markle is incredibly grateful for the opportunities she has had, with World Vision Canada, and with UN Women. She has through those organizations had the chance to meet incredible organizations right around the world, people doing great grassroots work. But she has made the decision that she wants to start with a clean slate and focus on the UK, and getting to know this country, traveling around the Commonwealth, and so the only role she will begin her royal life with is the Royal Foundation, and that has been a decision that she has taken." Miss Markle has talked in the past about the issues she cares about, and I am sure that those themes will continue in the future. But she has been very clear with us that her priority is getting around this country, learning about communities right around the UK, and any particular theme she will pick up I'll leave her to talk about, in her own time. He added, "The priority for her is the UK. Getting around the country and meeting those working at a grassroots level. She wants to spend this time learning about the UK. This is the country that is going to be her home now, and she wants to spend time in the UK getting to know its towns and cities and smaller communities, and that is what she is going to be doing." Prince Harry will still carry out a full program of engagements, but she will join him from time to time. "We are looking forward to building a program for the two of them around the country." The couple's engagements in Nottingham on Friday will begin with a visit to the Nottingham Contemporary, which will be hosting a Terence Higgins Trust World AIDS Day charity fair. Harry has long made clear his determination to take on the mantle of his late mother, Diana, Princess of Wales, by championing those with HIV/AIDS and highlighting the needs for proper and regular testing. Appearing on a Kensington Palace operational note for the first time, Miss Markle and her fiancé will enjoy a walkabout outside before meeting groups working in the field, including Terence Higgins Trust Nottingham, the African Institute for Social Development and Champions for Change. The couple will then travel to Nottingham, where they will meet head teachers from local schools as well as people working for Full Effect, a program working with children and young people in the deprived ends area of Nottingham, and supported by the Royal Foundation. The charity supports children and young people, from becoming involved in youth violence and crime through a combination of early intervention, mentorship and training. Before they leave, Harry is keen to introduce his fiancée to Chantal Stefanovic, who mentors young people in the area, after coming through a difficult childhood herself, and has become a friend and source of inspiration to Harry. They will also get to watch a performance put on by some of the Full Effect young people of their hip opera. His spokesman said, "He established the Full Effect program through the Royal Foundation, and is proud of the friendships and partnerships he has built there. His Royal Highness is looking forward to introducing Miss Markle to a community that has become very special to him." Miss Markle cannot wait to meet many of the young people Prince Harry has told her so much about.